Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is a sketch layout challenge from Sweet and Sassy Virtual Crop. This was our third crop that we did, and this sketch was a lot of fun. I really liked this one, and I went ahead and decided to pull out some Maggie Holmes. I haven't used crepe paper in a minute, and I had this background made up from a process video from a long time ago. I did it in a process video and then never used it. So it's just been sitting in this paper pad, and I saw it and I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and get it used up. I did some watercolor on the background. I can't remember what page it was originally for, but either way, it wasn't working. But there were some grays and some blues, and there were some blue pattern papers in this pad, so I figured I could try and do a monochromatic thing with a couple of the other blues to get this used up. So right away you see me pulling out this musical paper, this checkered paper, and a cut apart that's blue. So I'm thinking I can use these as the paper layers that are in this sketch. There's pretty much just two photos, one vertical rectangular piece, and then a big banner hanging down from the side of that, and then there's a skinny vertical piece, which looks like it has stitching on it in the sketch with some journaling underneath that and a title above it. So that's pretty much what I'm going for. I just really needed two big chunks of paper, and I had two pieces of paper that were blue. So I'm just using those two to create the two elements. These two photos were from my family reunion. These are the big group shots. The top photo is everyone who was there, which was like, I don't even remember how many people. We were still missing a ton. But anyways, lots of family members, lots of kids. I didn't ask anyone's permission for it to go on YouTube, so I just decided to cover them up, just because I'm not sure how comfortable they would feel being on YouTube. So that's why there's these white pieces of paper washi taped to the front of the photos. This drove me crazy the entire process video. I kept trying to rip them off because they were distracting. So I'm sorry if they're distracting you during this process video. I will remove those pieces of paper in the close-up videos at the end and then just blur the faces. But I am not I don't know how to blur faces in a moving process video, so I just decided to cover them up for now, and then I'll remove the papers for the close-ups. But yeah, that was really difficult for me to try and see what was going on with this page with these pieces in the way. So that was a little distracting. You'll see me kind of take the page off screen so I could take them off and see what the page actually looks like without those. But I'm pretty much just following the sketch. I have my big rectangular piece down with this musical paper, and now I'm stretching this blue checkered paper into that big banner. In the sketch, it's not stretched up to the top of the page, but I really thought it would be nice to have that pattern pulled to the top as well and not just on the bottom of the page. So I decided to make that executive decision, and then here's the cut apart. That's that same similar color. It looks a little purpley there, but it's the same blue that's in the checkered pattern, so I figured that I could use that as well. I wanted some sort of decorative element because in the sketch there's a decorative element there that the title sits on. So I didn't just want it to be a 3x4 cut apart card. So I decided to use one of my circle nested dies and cut this into a circle. I washi taped this die to the cut apart, but for whatever reason, I must have nudged it before I ran it through the machine because it ran off the paper. So I have to do this twice because it didn't cut a full circle the first time. But that's probably just because I was being stingy and trying to use a tiny piece of washi instead of just using a good piece of washi like a normal person. So I'm going to do this again really quick just to get that smooth circular edge around the corner. I know this is going to tuck into the photo, so I really just need the upper right hand curve of the circle. Because I know there's going to be a horizontal piece running along the bottom of it from the sketch, so it doesn't really matter if the bottom part's flat because I'm assuming that will be covered anyways. So you can see how I'm pulling this in. I'm really just going off of colors. Any paper or ephemera piece that matches this blue color is what I'm pulling in just to make it easy on myself. So like I said, the papers are all chasing dreams. You can see me pulling in a few, sorry, there's a motorcycle going by. This 6x6 yellow and the ephemera is all from Flourish. I have a lot of Flourish because Tuesday mornings carried a lot of it all at one time, and I was like, oh, I can get a bunch of coordinating, products together. And then I bought it all and then got home and I was like, this is not my style. I don't know how to use any of this stuff. So whenever I use Maggie Holmes or Crepe Paper Collection, I'm trying to pull in a little bit of the Flourish here and there, and I thought this yellow would go really well. So I'm trying to pull that yellow in as an accent color because there's nothing really that I think will really clash. It's really just white and blue right now. So I'm making a decorative little border. The sketch has a scallopy horizontal piece in the page, so I decided I would just use that as that element. I'm going to go ahead and glue down all of these layers. I know where it's going to go, and now I'm going to work on that horizontal bit a little bit. In the sketch, there's really just the scallopy detail branching out to the right, and then there's like a skinny piece that almost just looks like a branding strip running behind all of these layers as well, and that's what's stitched. I didn't want to pull in another paper layer, so I decided to just go with a little piece of washi instead, and I actually decided not to stitch. I feel like there's a lot going on this page already because I already have this mixed media in the background, and then all of the patterns themselves can kind of read a little busy. So I'm trying to keep, like, the actual design itself is pretty simple, so I'm trying not to complicate it too much because I know there's already a lot going on. So yeah, I'm looking through the ephemera bits. I do want to embellish a little bit. There's a couple pieces on the chipboard and the sticker sheet that have that blue and that yellow, so you'll see me pull that in a little bit. But I did want to address the other horizontal element that's on this page, so I'm just using some black and white diagonal striped washi and running it over that layer. And I think that adds a nice detail without it getting too confusing. And now I'm going to my chipboard. I'm just pulling in whatever has that same blue. There were a couple hearts and this little love label, so I thought that was appropriate too. There's also this tag that's the same yellow that I made into this horizontal scallopy border, so I thought it would be nice if I pulled another piece with that pattern on it in the page as well. And then I had a little scrap from where I die cut the cut apart, so I did just take a scallopy circle punch and made a little detail to layer behind that up there. But pretty much right now it's just embellishing. I do need to do a little title and a little journaling, but it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of pages in Bennett's, this is for Bennett's baby album, by the way, of when we went to the family reunion in Minnesota and all of that. So I don't feel like I need to say too much about it because it's in amongst all the other pages from the same day. But I do just want to label it because these are kind of important pictures. The bottom photo you can't see, but it's my grandma with 11 of her 13 children. Oh my gosh. All the dogs in the neighborhood are going crazy, and now Billy's getting excited. Sorry, there's a lot of background noise in this video. I'm sorry. But yeah. So now I just decided to create a little embellishment cluster in the Billy, hey, come here. Thank you. A little embellishment cluster in the bottom right-hand corner. This isn't in the sketch or anything. I just felt like I wanted to get this yellow tag used up from the chipboard sheet, so I created a little embellishment cluster down there with a lot of the elements that are around the other part of the page, pulled in a sticker, pulled in more washi. And now you can see me just doing the title. I'm just going to call it Rowekamp. That's my mom's maiden name, so this is the Rowekamp family reunion. And those stickers are called The Light. I really like those. Those are good size. They're the first time I used them too. And then I did just want to put the year because this is an annual reunion that we do. So I want to just say this is 2019, even though it'll be in Bennett's book with all the other stuff with 2019 stuff. But yes, that's what I wanted to do with the title, and then I wanted a little something down there by the tag anyways because that blue label I pulled in had an open spot for journaling, so I thought putting the date down there worked fine. But now you can just see me going back and forth between the chipboard and the sticker sheet to decorate with some hearts. So I'm just pulling some blue, some yellow in, and I think I'm going to do a little bit of journaling, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm just going to do a couple lines underneath the scallopy border piece, and I'm just going to say great grandma with 11 of her 13 children, just so it's labeled for Bennett in the future. And then you have the big group shot that's above that. So you'll see the close-ups in a minute where I'll take these white pieces of paper off and hopefully you can see the design a little bit better. I did go back and add a little bit of gold Heidi Swapp color shine on the diagonal just because there's already mixed media, and I wanted to brighten it up a little bit because the blue and the black watercolor was a little dark, so I think adding that little glimmer of gold helps. And then I felt like there just needed to be washi in one more spot because I have it on the horizontal underneath the title. But I felt like having it underneath the tag embellishment on the bottom and next to the embellishment at the top kind of helped draw your eye across. And now it's in 3 spots, so I feel like it makes more sense instead of just having it that one horizontal piece. But yeah, so here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the first time I tried to blur photos, so hopefully everyone's happy with that. I don't feel like anyone can recognize anybody. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Berry, why are you being so loud, huh? Why are you being so loud? You gonna be loud while I'm talking to my friends. But now he's gonna act all innocent, huh? Yeah.